Think about the last time you ate a single potato chip. You probably didn't stop at one. You reached back into the bag, grabbed another and another until your fingers were covered in salt and the bag was empty. Now think about the last time you opened your phone just to reply to a single text message. You didn't stop there either. 2 hours later, you woke up from a cognitive trance, scrolling through endless video feeds of people you don't know, feeling slightly hollow inside. These two behaviors feel completely different. One is a physical craving for food, the other is a digital habit. But beneath the surface, they are powered by the exact same mathematical formula. It is a concept borrowed from industrial food science, adapted by Silicon Valley's most brilliant minds to do one thing: find the absolute limit of your self control and then systematically break it. This is the story of the Bliss Point and how apps are quietly restructuring your brain. To understand how your phone took control of your attention, we have to go back to the 1970s to a food scientist named Howard Moskowitz. Major food corporations hired him to solve a simple question: how do we make people crave our food more without them realizing why? Moskowitz realized that human taste isn't linear. If you add sugar to a product, it tastes better, but only up to a point. If you add too much, the brain gets overwhelmed, registers the food as cloying, and tells you to stop eating. But there's a magical sweet spot, a precise mathematical combination of sugar, salt, and fat that triggers maximum sensory pleasure without sending a signal of fullness to your brain. Moskowitz called this peak the Bliss Point. Food engineered at the Bliss Point bypasses your natural evolutionary off switch. It keeps you in a state of perpetual craving. You are never fully satisfied, yet you never want to stop. Decades later, tech engineers realized they had a similar problem. They didn't want you to consume calories. They wanted you to consume time. And to do that, they needed to find the digital equivalent of sugar, salt, and fat. The recipe for the digital bliss point is remarkably precise. It requires three core ingredients. First is infinite novelty. Your brain is evolutionary hardwired to seek new information. In the wild, finding a new berry bush meant survival. Today, swiping down to refresh our feed delivers a brand new piece of visual information in less than 400 milliseconds. Second is zero friction. Just as soft, easily chewable food requires less physical effort to eat, digital bliss point content requires zero cognitive effort to consume. Features like autoplay and infinite scroll remove the moment of decision. You don't have to choose to watch another video. The algorithm chooses for you. Third and most dangerous is variable rewards. If you knew exactly what you were going to get every time you opened an app, you would eventually get bored and close it. But apps are designed like pocket-sized slot machines. Sometimes you scroll and find a boring post. Sometimes you find a hilarious meme or a shocking news story. It is the unpredictability that keeps you pulling the lever. Every time you hit this digital bliss point, your brain releases a surge of dopamine, the neurotransmitter of anticipation and desire. Under normal circumstances, your dopamine levels return to a healthy, quiet baseline. But when you expose your brain to hours of optimized high-frequency stimulation, something has to give. The brain seeks balance. To protect itself from overstimulation, it begins to desensitize itself. It literally shuts down your dopamine receptors. This is called downregulation. Your baseline level of dopamine drops. The consequence of this is quiet but devastating. When your baseline is depleted, normal, real-world activities like reading a book, studying a complex skill, or working on a long-term project no longer feel just difficult. They feel physically painful. Your brain compares the high-leverage, slow-yielding task in front of you to the low-friction, instant payoff of your phone, and because your baseline is so low, your executive function is hijacked. You choose the phone not because you are lazy, but because your brain is starving. Understanding the math of the bliss point is your first step toward escaping it. You cannot rely on willpower alone to fight algorithms engineered by thousands of world-class developers. You have to change the physics of the environment. First, strip away the visual flavor. Go into your phone settings and turn your screen to grayscale. Color is a primary trigger for visual novelty. When your feed is in black and white, the visual bliss point is immediately muted. The candy suddenly looks like cardboard. Secondly, reintroduce friction. Delete social apps from your phone and only access them via web browser. Set a physical boundary. Put your phone in another room or inside a lockbox during your deep work hours. By making it physically harder to check your notifications, you prevent the automatic unconscious loops. Finally, embrace the boredom. Allow your brain to experience moments of understimulation. When you stand in line, wait for an elevator, or sit on a bus, resist the urge to pull out your phone. Let your mind wander. It is in these quiet, unengineered moments that your dopamine baseline recovers, your focus returns, and your original creativity begins to grow again. Your attention is the most valuable asset you own. It is the currency you use to build your life, your skills, and your future. Don't let them buy it from you for the price of a potato chip. If you're ready to take the next step in reclaiming your cognitive sovereignty and learning how to master difficult, complex skills in a world designed to distract you, click here to watch our blueprint on how to rebuild your life in secret.